Hi, hello, hola, bonjour, namaste, namas coffee also. We'll start the class by paying attention on feeling funny. Yeah. Start the class thinking about joys of humor. Wait, let's adjust this a bit. All right. We're not going to tell a lot of jokes. Start about how does it feel when you're just feeling funny. Good. You probably remember moments you felt like joking around. You see the underlying feeling in the background, like, hey, let's joke, let's have fun. Well, I'm not doing fixity now, so I scratch if it itches. Sometimes. All right. People are connected. Let's do this. My eternal gratitude to the translators and those who put effort to make this wisdom known to the world. Think about how does it feel when you are joking around. How does it feel when you're partying, friends, context, when the context is where you go and have fun, puts you in that state. But it is a state to identify. How come your mind could get in such an entertaining state where you can just enjoy? Now the boring part of the class is the next hour where we will explain why do we get out of that mood. Oh my God. So the question is, how come are we dependent on context to go into a state of entertaining ourselves or enjoying ourselves? Think about it. And then we speak of free will. We want to be free. But you need an external context to put you in a state of having fun. Can you imagine the possibility of being in a state of having fun, peacefully sitting doing nothing? Not just being at peace, but the feeling of fooling around without saying a single joke, without needing context. Think about it. That's a supernatural ability. That's a good application of swastika. So we use our imagination to invoke the times where we had fun fooling around, making jokes, entertaining ourselves. When we had a context, when there were friends around. Some of you require intoxication, like a bit of alcohol, but the best is when you're just with friends or family saying stupid stuff and it's funny. And you enjoy yourself. So think about the context where you usually are in the mood of enjoying yourself. Maybe it's playing with your favorite animal. Use your memory of fun context to remember the feeling. Now focus on that. Why do you absolutely need a context? So are you a slave of nature or karma? If a context is required for you to go into having fun, karma has power over you, of course. It's a way to say that events must put you in that state. Obviously, that's for everyone, that's natural. But we're seeking to become masters of ourselves. It's just a reflection, huh? Think about it. Do I absolutely need context? And to tell myself a joke, to have fun? Could I keep my mind clear and go into the attitude of enjoying myself like if it was humor, sitting still alone? Just try it. The coffee is not context for me being happy. It's just a context for addictions that I have to pretend I cannot wake up, or actually I do wake up without coffee. It's easy. Had nothing to do with the having fun. I'm just gonna take another sip anyway. Feel human a bit, right? It's a nice reflection. It's a contemplation that can be useful. How much my state of being, at peace or enjoying myself, requires the rest of the universe to collaborate. Because if there's nothing that put me in that context, I can't enjoy myself of nothing. That's slavery. And if there are many objects of context, the alcohol, the friends, the jokes, the party, the occasion like Easter or Christmas or the beach. So if we have gathered every condition to put us in the mood of enjoying ourselves, it takes one thing that is incompatible to break that mood. Like Uncle Gustav is too drunk and he starts to bug people. And then even all the objects of your context lose their power for one thing that can destroy your mood because it is one annoying thing. Are we free for real? Mentally and emotionally? How much context has power over our mood? It's an interesting contemplation. Constantly maintaining ourselves in a mood of enjoyment is not the wisest. The wisest state to keep ourselves constantly as much as we can, without a context to support it, is peace, simplicity, peace. This is the best state to maintain and to practice, not requiring a context to be at peace. And if something comes to take us away from a state of peace, to focus on remaining in peace, regardless of the negative context. I took the state of joking around and enjoying yourselves as a good example for us to easily understand the power of context, or natural context, if you want, and how we are vulnerable to external influences. I do recommend you seek proper context to enjoy yourself. Friends and family, for now it's video on internet. I do recommend that you keep contact the way you can and use context, external influence to make you feel good. Don't pretend we are accomplished or Buddhas so fast when we are where we are on our path. So use those opportunities, the things that you know you can do to put you in a good mood, or at least calm and peaceful, if it cannot be enjoyable. Do that, but understand it is using your enslavement to those contexts. It is not absolute freedom. That's usually a shocking revelation. It's inspiring. Om Ishanaya yantraya swaha. Raven, if you're here, would you please write it? Om Ishanaya yantraya swaha. I've given class on Kyo so many times. There are books, there are videos on my YouTube channel. I'm not going to reteach the same exact theme, but the basics are important to understand. The mudra, you can make this, right? You can make it with your other hand. You bind your fingers together inside, okay? And you got the mudra. So you don't need to struggle like, how do you do this? Just make your fingers, good. And the thumbs are straight. They're not twined. The thumbs are straight. It's just the lower fingers that are interlock. And if this is too hard for your major, you just put your major above your index. That's good. Thank you, Alicia. Om Ishanaya yantraya swaha. Good. Naya means path, way. Physically, it means a path or a way. And mentally, it means a method or a behavior. Okay. Isha means proper or accurate or correctly, depending on the context of the word. So Ishanaya means behave in function of what you want to achieve. Ishanaya is about, at the basic, it means appropriate behavior. Wow, does it mean to be polite? Does it mean to follow the beliefs of your culture? Of course not. Ishanaya means find a way to act or behave in order to achieve your objective. Now, why is it the objective? Yantraya. Yantra means tool. Yantraya means using that tool. The same way with Mahajriya. Mahajra is the great field. Mahajriya means to be in the great field. Okay, so yantraya is using tools. Okay, it's the use. Okay, ishanaya yantraya means to behave and maintain yourself in a way to build what you want to build or achieve what you wish to achieve. In other words, you are responsible of maintaining the proper attitude in order to face the world and work in it. The second stage of Kuji-in is called KYO. This is learning to be responsible. We are in charge, basically. If you maintain yourself constantly in a state of enjoying yourself, fooling around, joking, some people actually do that, then you can never take anything seriously. Then you become irresponsible. If you cannot go into a state of enjoying yourself because you need a context, and one part of that context is for you not to be depressed, and that day you're depressed, then you cannot at this point go into a state of enjoying yourself. You won't like it, but that too is being irresponsible. When you are a slave of always enjoying yourself, that's irresponsible. If you are unable to go into a state of enjoying yourself by will, that is also irresponsible. What I mean is your inability to be free of context makes you a slave of natural occurrence, of karma, causality. And that means you can be responsible by being in charge of what happens in your life. But if you are not careful of your state of being, that's one aspect of the context that you're letting to chance, to random possibilities. It is a way of saying you are putting your power into the hands of whatever wants to use your power. It is the Russian roulette with your own power. Hey, life, do whatever you want with me. Life is not evil. It will not entertain you or punish you. Life flows. It doesn't understand. It's not a single entity that has an intention towards you. The first stage of responsibility is being the one who decides in which state you are. Now you have to be wise. Do not go into a state of repressing. For example, I want to be happy, so I force myself to be happy because I'm in charge. And because of that, you never look at the shit that you need to look at. Responsibility is integrity with yourself. What is the thing I have to be conscious now? And if you're constantly negative and doing only personal growth, all you will see is shit about yourself. So you'll become negative. So you also have to put yourself at times in a state of confidence. I decide that I trust myself. I will not use this trust to deny myself. I trust myself that I can face whatever I can face. I decide today that I enjoy myself for no reason. I will just go and fool around and make word games with no words. Very Zen humor. I'll just laugh at my jokes that I did not say or think about. Let's do it now, out of no reason. Let's laugh at a joke. Good one. Without a joke, without requiring the joke. You can choose in which state you go. Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. Discover this freedom, this power you have to be free of context and to be in charge. And then do personal growth. We learned this with the third Kuji-in that we'll cover this Friday. First, know that you are free. Let's think about yesterday's study of the Vajra state of mind. Formless. Before my birth, I had no form. Way after my death, I will have no form. Now, I have no form. Formlessness. Pure being, nameless, undefined. And now to that we add free of context. Responsible of our state. Free of context. Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. I do not need to remain a slave of external influence. I can enjoy them. I can grow from them. But I do not need to be a slave anymore. I choose to be contextless, without context. Have the courage to put yourself in a state of personal growth. Once you discover the freedom of context, the liberation of external influence, doesn't always work. Life, we're still human. We're still affected by things. But we grow into that freedom of context. A sense of responsibility. And once you discover that power, don't use it to deny, to maintain yourself artificially always outside of personal growth. No, use it to intentionally go into personal growth. Today I will study pride, or I'll study the mask of attainment, or I'll study emotional attachments, decisions, choice. That's freedom. I hope this is inspiring to you. Let's make the mudra. And you relax it. To behave in function of what I wish to experience. Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. Humbly admit I am still vulnerable and affected by every external influence that still has power over me. It's just to be honest with ourselves. But the contemplation is seeking that holy objective, the holy goal of freedom of mood, freedom of context and stimulation that makes us happy or sad. To know ourselves as self-contained, powerful individuals, humbly admitting vulnerability and simplicity, accepting where we are on the path, but desiring to cultivate this autonomy, this freedom. Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. I choose how I am. And choosing to be honest with yourself is a very good mood. So if a context rises and it does put you in a state of depression or anxiety or loneliness, use your freedom to put yourself in a state of personal growth. I will work on myself. I embrace what I live now. I have to admit honestly, there is an external influence that just put me in that state. maybe there is an internal influence, an emotion from inside, somewhere inside where I am not accomplished or free. We have a genetic animal. This will have power over us forever, as long as we're incarnate. Hormones, biology, needs, genetics. So cultivate this freedom. I'm just putting this in my mouth. It just happened. It looks like I'm double picking my nose. I'm just, because I found it funny. Look. You see, context. It puts us in moods. Om Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. I desire this freedom. One of the freedoms I have is that I can enjoy the context when I wish to. It is appropriate, it is encouraged. We seek freedom. Om Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. We seek freedom. Responsibility is a power. Om Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. Responsibility is not only cleaning your house and paying your bills. Responsibility is, what is my mood? What context put me in that mood? Can I simply choose my mood? Can I use the context I prefer and let go of the context that is not beneficial? Om Ishanaya, yantraya, swaha. If your fingers hurt, relax them, right? You have to let it go. Don't hurt your hands because of a mudra. And release. One mistake that we will do is try to pretend we are not affected when we are actually affected. If you do the mudra and your fingers hurt, and as a power trip, you think, I'm a responsible New Ager or spiritual seeker. I will hold the mudra out of devotion regardless of the pain. This is not devotion. This is a lack of self-love. Don't hurt your body. It's a context. We have a body. It has limits. Okay? It's just an example because I just saw it. Let's try to find another example. You are in a relationship and it hurts. But you say, I will always integrate everything that hurts. Well, that is actually noble. But if there is no productive joy and love in your relationship, or at least a profound sense of peace, is it self-love? Is it caring for yourself or just hindering yourself? If there's no benefit, okay? So that's just an example. It's the same thing as saying, I can't drink anymore, it hurts my liver, but I'm with the friends at the bar. So yeah, just another glass, I will integrate whatever suffering I have for the sake of being with the friends. But it's not self-love because the liver's hurt and the brain doesn't like it. And everything else in the body doesn't like it. It takes humility and honesty with ourselves to accept there is a basic context of existence that we are an animal in nature and we have the most basic limits. Nature. Okay? Be honest. So use this wisdom to study how you are a slave of context. And sometimes it's not nature. Sometimes it's just Uncle Gustav a bit too drunk at Christmas. I hope I'm not insulting anyone called Gustav. And if I do, maybe that was just context. Someone using your name as an example. If someone talks negatively of you, does it change the amount of food in your fridge? Does it change the amount of money in your account? Does it change the amount of affection you can have in the next week? No. Someone called you an idiot. Someone said you did something wrong. It's just people talking. We're moving into another topic about context. Do you define yourself through your actions or through your social position? In nature, in truth, what you do repeatedly reinforces what people will know of you. If you repeatedly do things in a productive way, are kind with others, if you do 1 or 10 mistakes, and a few gain an opinion, that fucking idiot just did that. Well, do your integration, resolve your shame, your pride. That fear you have, people will not love me. Don't you trust that you have done good so many times? That if someone judges you for 1 or just 10 mistakes, you're not defined by what people think. You are responsible for what most people think because of your actions. You have already demonstrated who you are repeatedly through your actions, through the way you behave. Om Ishana-Draya yantraya swaha. Do not fear what people think. Or maybe you should, if you have repeatedly insulted, or if repeatedly you say negative things about yourself. I'm a crazy bastard. I'm a crazy bastard. Don't trust me. I'm a crazy bastard. And if you say that all the time, what do you think people will think about you? You're responsible. Do not fear what others think of you. Be in charge of what you think of yourself. And behave in a way that is productive, kind, responsible, powerful. And enjoy yourself. And be positive. And that goes into nature. That is karma. That's you producing karma. You're pushing waves of influence in the world. And the world will know you as how you have demonstrated through actions and words. So if someone says Mahavajra is a fraud that happens once a year, 10 years ago it was every month, now it's once a year, maybe one day it will be less. Mahavajra is a fraud. He's not Buddhist. He's not a good master. I went inside, felt bad, and I trusted everyone that said thank you has proven to me that my work is good. I will believe in myself and try to do my best. I will continue to love, to care, and to share. The result is 1,000,000 people think I'm awesome and 100 still think I'm a fraud. You know, numbers talk, right? But that happened because I did not give power to the negativity outside and the doubt I had inside. I had doubt. Oh, yes. I went in. I trusted the wisdom and I did personal growth. Think about, how do you fear the world's opinion and how little you trust your karmic power? Because through repeating a specific attitude, you produce the presence that you radiate. You generate your karma. You can be responsible of that. But for this, you have to choose, a difficult choice. I will be positive and I will work on myself. To trust that you are a powerful generator of karma. And you can decide to generate a continuing presence of healing, of responsibility, of joy, of entertainment. Like this guy says, Maha, why do you keep posting these stupid jokes on your Facebook wall? And like, you're not showing that you're a master. And to these people I answer, when you find my jokes are bad, why does it affect you? Why do you emotionally react with doubt and fear because a spiritual master posted a joke you don't find funny? Why did it put you in that state? What do you fear? Then, why did you not think the joke was funny? Half of the time, it's South American people who use Google Translate, and the joke cannot possibly be funny in another language. It's English. But the other half is just, they don't have the same sense of humor. It's different. My friend Sean, he used to say, Maha, you have to stop joking. These are so bad. The moment he would write a private message, he would write it literally as a comment and a joke. Immediately, I go try to post an even more empty and useless joke. Can you identify in yourself, why does that make you react? Because I look at the amount of likes and laughter and little hearts, and those who enjoy the joke, that's what I trust. I brought that to them. Okay? So yeah, some like the sense of humor, but not everyone shares it. It's okay. It's freedom. I love it. Do you limit yourself to the single or 2 or 3 comments that are negative from the outside and the few negative comments inside? Or can you focus on the good that you bring and say, that is my motivation? My beloved friend Shivani teaches, and I see the likes and the smiles and the hearts on her posts. And I know some of her students and how they grow and how they are inspired. And sometimes, like once a year, she writes, I don't know if I'm a good master. Your opinion of yourself is irrelevant. The world said they like you to inspire them. That's enough. So having anxiety inside is normal. Doubting in your competence. Am I a good master? That is normal. Embrace the pain, the uncertainty. That is normal. It's okay. Focus on your karma. And that is everyone who has enjoyed your work. If you are a plumber, a nurse, a spiritual master, a meme lord on internet, whatever is your function where you feel useful, focus on the benefit. You can choose to be positive and say, the amount of enjoyment of others, I can use that. Now you can say that is context. Yes, exactly. It is your freedom to choose that context. I can decide to use every positive comment I got from my clients, my students, friends, and family. Let's say your mother or your father is negative. It's their way of being. They always talk negative. But they still ask you to come visit. That is proof that you are a benefit to them. You have to choose which context you will use. If you are going to be influenced anyway by a context until you reach absolute freedom, which is after Buddhahood, it is in the Tathagata state that you really let go. Before that, choose your context. Choose to be powerful. Om Ishanaya yantraya swaha. Step by step. All right? And since Shivani is translating in Spanish now, I will say, I understand what Shivani is going through, but the benefits she brought to the world are so immense. There is no doubt in anyone's mind about her quality as a master. Thank you everyone for this class of context and freedom and responsibility. Practice, I love myself just as I am, a lot. And when you have a wave of self-hatred or profound anxiety and doubt, say a few times, just a few times, I hate myself just as I am. I despise myself just as I am. This is what I am. I embrace it. Don't repeat it as an autosuggestion, of course not. But say it honestly, at least to go into a state of acceptance and integrate. Hate yourself just as you are, to go deeper in Visantara and deep embracement of hell. Do your work on yourself and find what must you mourn to be free again. What disappointment must you embrace to be free again? And then go back to the autosuggestion. I love myself just as I am. I love myself just as I am, especially as long as you do not believe it. As long as you don't believe, keep repeating. I love myself just as I am. Om Ishana-Draya yantraya swaha. I get to choose the context. I seek that freedom. So I love myself just as I am. And I'll choose to believe in my work, in what I do on myself, and the benefits I bring to others. Now, if the numbers prove no one wants to study with you, it doesn't mean you're a bad person. It just means that your wisdom is not on par, or that your marketing is not good. And that's life. I mean, sometimes you're not the kind of character. Maybe you're not the kind of person who can bring so much wisdom. Depends on your ability to communicate. I'm inclined to theatrical acts. I love to enjoy myself. I'm skilled at manipulation, so I can switch moods and joke around and guide states of being. So I just have good practice. It is a skill that can be developed. It's not everyone who has it. So find some things you're good at. Like a friend, not a close friend, but a good friend, a good person. Joachim. He just says, I'm not a teacher. I don't know how to spread wisdom, but I will build things. I will build things for the students to practice better. And he is a bodhisattva, and he uses his skills to bring benefits to the world. He builds things and he cultivates. It's awesome. He's a saint. I love him. Hey, guys. Meep, meep. Enjoy the context. See you Friday.